Hello, I hope you've been having a wonderful day, evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Uh, this is a bonus video of sorts. I've been editing all the parts of the What's in Pirates Crate Women in Music. I have everything filmed, ready to go, but it's a week or so before Record Store Day. And I saw that Avon Emma posted a video doing a prompt for a contest. Even if there wasn't a contest, it's still a fun little prompt that I wanted to hop on here. If you're unfamiliar with Emma's channel, Avon I'm going to leave it down in the description below. But there were a couple of prompts that were put onto the video, and I thought just throw my hat in the ring just to see. These are what I thought these would be essentially my picks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Join the pirate crew. Like, subscribe, and ring the ship's bell to be notified when the captain posts new content. So, the whole of the contest is themed to Cheap Trick, and I thought I'd pick my most, when I thought of Cheap Trick, I thought this is my most visually striking shirt. I thought this would be fun to wear while, I'm talking about these records here. So, the first prompt is I Want You to Want Me, share an underrated gem. So there was a couple of records I thought about doing and picking, and I've thought about ones. There have been ones that I've shown in the past. I wanted to pick ones that I haven't necessarily shown in the past here on this channel, or maybe very briefly talked about. But my pick for I Want You to Want Me is this album right here, Journey's Raised on Radio. Now, a lot of people feel that this album itself is a Steve Perry solo record. Especially because there was a lineup change with the band, and it's a good album. I wouldn't say it's their best, but it definitely has a whole bunch of really cool songs on it. Of course, the title track is one of my favorite Journey songs, just in general. But one of my favorite Journey songs, like of all time, "Be Good to Yourself," is on this. I'll Be Right Without You is a hit from this as well. Girl Can't Help It is another one. But I love the artwork on this. And it's a little bit different. Like I said, I've been reading online. A lot of people felt that this was a Steve Perry solo album. I can neither agree nor disagree. It does have its own nice custom inner labels here. For the album, but Raised on Radio is an underrated gem of a song from the band's discography. Whenever I get in moods to do deep cut songs by bands, like well-known bands, deep cuts, Raised on Radio is usually the song that I go to for that. So the next album here, it's so nice to have the crate empty and I can use it. The next is going to be In Color. Show your most visually striking record. So I thought, instead of just going with some of the ones I've already shown in terms of the color of the record itself, I thought, let me show my most visually striking packaging. And the album I'm going to show here is from a band called the Olivia Tremor Control. This is music from the unrealized film script Dusk at Cubist Castle. This is a gatefold reissue. Now, I'm actually going to pull everything out for this one here. But this is on black wax, but look at this artwork. It's just awesome. And I love the Cubist artwork. I love the ombre effects of the coloring for all of the tracks. And I love also the artwork for the gatefold. Now, there are some sung songs on here. There are some instrumentals on this, but I also love the printed leaflet here. It gives album credits with just more of that stunning artwork. And even the records themselves have the artwork that's extended onto the inner labels. This one's my favorite here. It's almost like a Loch Ness Monster, but a goose. Rather swan. Swan, that's what I was thinking of. Swan version of the Loch Ness Monster. And side 3 is what's called the Typewriter Suite, so it's just all songs there. And that as well. It's an interesting album. It's hard to describe and yet easy to describe at the same time. It's got interesting elements to it. There's, of course, actually sung songs. So some things that you would normally think, oh, I'd have a rock band go in and really set a song for a mood. But there are also just instrumental pieces and really experimental pieces that are on there. So the next prompt is Surrender, an album we learned to love. So I was asking a couple of friends, and this is one that I had to really think about because I love a lot of music now. But I had to think back to when I was first starting collecting and first starting to think about music. And for the longest time, I wasn't that big a country fan. Now, I had heard, the Taylor Swifts. I had heard, I had heard the Miranda Lamberts. I had heard the Carrie Underwoods. But this particular album, from beginning to end, was the first time I absolutely adored a modern country album. And then this was my gateway to listening to the older school country. So I have a lot to thank for that. It's Maren Morris's Hero. This is a modern take on country. So not necessarily the bro country that we see nowadays, but just a stone cold classic at end. If I had not picked this one, this would be a no skip perfect album for me, which is one that's coming up later. This would have been a later prompt, but just going off of conversations I've had with some of my closest friends, this album was my gateway to loving country music. And there's some big songs on here, like My Church, Ace Mercedes, but I Could Use a Love Song is great. How It's Done is just a classic. I love Second Wind. That is a song that, you have all these songs that are generically Don't Underestimate Me songs, but that is in a category in itself. And Maren, that back when she was doing country music, her voice is so unique, and that's what got me to love country was this album. Only have 2 more categories here. So Budokan Energy, post an electrifying live album, and I said in my my live albums showcase, you could, if you went back and watched this video, you know how much I love live music. So I had to really think of the ones that I owned, which would arguably be my favorite live album. And had I had this on vinyl, it would be Paramore's The Final Riot. But since I wanted to focus on mainly the vinyl side of things, and it was tough to get to my CDs, it still is. But I had to think about this. Arguably, this is one of my favorite Record Store Day releases of all time. Tears for Fears live at Massey Hall, Toronto, Canada in 1985. They run through the gambit of all of their well-known songs, and I have to show appreciation just for the packaging here. The only thing I wish it would have had is it doesn't have anything. I wish it would have had was the some images from the time, but you have Mother's Talk, Broken, Head Over Heels, / Broken, Pale Shelter, Memories Fade, Start of the Breakdown, The Prisoner, I Believe, Working Hour, Mad World, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, The Hurting, and Shout. Just the energy that they bring to all of their songs is just amazing, electrifying, if you will, the entire time. But what I love is the printed inners, because they have the master tapes. So it is the writing from the master tapes. This was 5/30 of 85, so you can see they have rather the USA way of writing the dates. It has it there. It also has all the credits of who played that night as well. This is classic, and it I can't talk about this enough. I could talk about this album for an hour and a half, but just a classic live album. I put it on anytime I just really want really cool energy. It's also chill in some places too, which you need when you're listening to live albums. So there you go. That's that pick. And the last one is She's Tight, a no skip perfect album. And I've talked about no skip perfect albums quite a lot on my channel. But I wanted to pick one that I haven't necessarily talked about in quite a while. And as I was thinking through, I thought, this is one that I've thought about for a long time since I first heard it. This band I got to see play for my college's homecoming the year I actually graduated at Old Dominion University. And they opened up for AWOL Nation. And this band has gone on to tour with AWOL Nation, and AWOL Nation has opened up for them. But that's my pick would be 21 Pilots' Vessel. Beginning to end, this is a genre-morphing album. There are elements of hip-hop. There are elements of rock. There's great flows throughout this. This is a genre-bending album. And it's on Clear Wax. I got to see these guys perform back during this era, back when the album first came out. And I do have a sticker. I didn't have a chance to pull it for the video, but I do have a sticker that says "Power to the Local Dreamer." And I remember seeing them and just being completely floored, because Holding On to You was just brand new of a hit track there, and I'd listened to at least a little bit of their other songs at that point, and I was just blown away by them. And I'd love to see them again sometime, but to me, this is one of those albums that I know how to play a bunch of songs on this album. I play them quite a bit, so that would be my pick for this one. The other prompt was share a favorite Cheap Trick memory. I'm a relatively new Cheap Trick fan, so I don't necessarily have too many memories, unless you count, listening to listening to you talk about Cheap Trick would count as that. I wouldn't count that as that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, those are my picks. This was All the Tricks contest. If anybody else is watching this from this, I'm looking forward to watching all the other videos on this just to see what's going around. I love hearing stories. I love watching other content to see what other music's out there that I can go and take a look at. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you've been listening to anything fun. I love to have conversations here. Coming up, we do have the rest of the Women in Music Showcase from my collection. And Record Store Day is coming as well, so keep an eye out for that video. As you can see behind me, all the records are back, so I have finally gone through filming everything. I just have maybe 2 more videos in that series left to go, and I have a whole bunch of other ideas brewing up here in my head. So stick around if you'd like to hear a little bit more about my music taste and my thoughts there. I love having you here. It's all about the love of music. And as I say at the end of everything that I produce, when the waters get rough, keep on sailing. Take care.